Got lots of good stuff to cover in this video that it all came across my desk today. So this is a Riders on the Storm music video by The Doors on their official channel. This is the official music video on their official channel that was put out 7 months ago. Just wanted to show you that. Maybe by the end we'll come back to this one after having established that these music videos really are dropping truths into some narratives for us. But she gets crucified here on the power lines. And I'm just going to show you a few quick screenshots from this music video and let you watch it yourself. The link is in the description. Again, it's by The Doors, and there is an electrical fire component to it, like plasma fire. And here on this corner, you can see her arm pinned to the, here she's crucified on the power lines. And then it shows this guy pretty much get covered up in the black goo until he becomes a reptilian or a fish-looking creature, maybe a little of both. Remember, Jim called himself the Lizard King, but this video was only made 7 months ago. And the song, Riders on the Storm, is like from the 70s. So, just keep that in mind, that they can add more narrative to the storyline with the videography that they add to it more recently. So here, you can't see it very well, but in the foreground are all these flames. I can't really show you any of the video. And here's the lightning striking. Here she's standing in front of the cross that's burning, and that's not a burning cross, but a power pole. Here you can see she's looking up at it and it's reflecting in her eyes. Again, not just a burning cross, a burning power line. The electrical component to these fires is exhibited within the videography of this music video. I recognize this is awkward, but we'll fix it in a minute, and it's not about production value here. A Tree on Fire from Within is the music video that we're going to cover the lyrics of, and you can see what the thumbnail image is here. An electric blue imagery around those trees on fire from within. Since I drew your attention to the electric blue, I should also draw your attention to the Lochnar green, this emerald green glow. Some people like Matt from Quantum of Conscience have done entire shows just trying to figure out what this green means and why it's used in such esoteric places where it seems like they're dropping a truth drop. So here are the lyrics to A Tree on Fire from Within. There's all the entire lyrics right there. Well, there's a story I would like to tell, but I don't know where to begin. Well, it's pretty on the surface, but it doesn't have an end. Like a tree on fire from within. I called up Mary to see how she's been. She said she's never really had a friend. Sure, there's many folks around me, but nobody truly found me. Like a tree on fire from within. Can ring a bell, and it doesn't matter if it's gold or tin. The news inside, it means so much, even if it turns to dust, like a tree on fire from within. The violet roses give such a scent, and it doesn't matter how long it's been. Even a dead rose is a good rose. You only have to see one to know, like a tree on fire from within. So regardless of all the other lyrics surrounding the tree on fire from within, that's the only lyric necessary to know that they are referencing the plasma fire. And we're taking it to another level with this concept that there is a whole society surrounding the plasma fire that you come to understand is a reality. Once you see that the trees are burning from the inside and there's an orchestrated, coordinated, worldwide quote, cover up. It's like Santa Claus no longer exists. When you're a kid and you realize Santa Claus doesn't exist, you also realize simultaneously that the world conspired to make you believe that Santa does exist. So along with the understanding that Santa Claus does not exist, you simultaneously come to the understanding that there's a lot of other people in this world who also know Santa doesn't exist. But up until that point where you came to the understanding, they would smile and look at you in the eye and say, oh yes, Santa Claus is real. Until you come to the understanding yourself and you realize there is a large group of people in this world who also already know that Santa Claus is not real. There is a similar awakening process that happens when you discover plasma fire. So these people making these lyrics are referring to this plasma fire. And I'm going to show you a few more examples. Thank you very much to the viewer who left these lyrics in my comment section. And I'm going to show you some more viewer-driven product or whatever, content. So what we just read were the lyrics to the song A Tree on Fire from Within by Jack White. And as you'll see, that video was only put out 6 days ago. Similar to other content I've covered recently that was only put out recently. And is on a exclusive distribution list, let's say. So we're just going to watch a quick 4-minute video that I've made previously.
Here's the image that's on the album cover by a band called Bau Haus or something like that. And it's titled Burning from the Inside. You can see it written along the bottom there in very small letters. Burning from the inside. Links are in the description. Here's another album cover by the same band called The Sky's Gone Out. Remember that image for a second? And this is an image of a plasma speaker, Tesla coil plasma speaker. You see some similarities there, maybe? I just thought it was interesting when I was not even sure how I came across this. But the image on the front of their album cover that appears the closest thing in the sky that it looks to is the sun. But it doesn't look like the sun that we've all been taught about. It looks more like the sun that Truth Community calls the sun simulator when they catch reflections of this thing off the water and windows and everything with the black hole in the center. Black hole sun. There's a little black spot on the sun today. It's the same. I won't sing the song. That's the Police. Little black spot on the sun, black hole sun. But you can see the similarity between these images. That plasma speaker and this image on the front of Bau Haus album called The Sky's Gone Out. With that image on the front of the cover labeled The Sky's Gone Out, when you know what we know today, you can see that that's a sun. Not the type of sun we've been taught about, nonetheless. When the title of the album is called The Sky's Gone Out, and it's got a picture of that, the only thing you can then extrapolate is that it's referring to the idea that the sun no longer shines. And some people say that happened a long time ago, and that sun simulator's been up there a long time.
And Joseph Smith wrote in that Mormon Journal of Discourses in the 1800s that there would come a time when the wicked would have the power to blow out the sun that it may shine no more.
But I'm thinking that's what they're depicting on the front of that album called The Sky's Gone Out, is some sort of plasma lamp. And when their other album titled is called Burning from the Inside, and they show a tree and the fractured reality or the fractured image, it's tough not to draw some parallels and correlations and think we might have decoded this. And just for a cherry on top, one of their other album titles is called Mask. And that's the album cover there. I'm not sure how to draw any parallels or correlation. Just the name of it with the other two, Sky's Gone Out and Burning from the Inside, seems like maybe these guys knew a little something, and when they titled this one Mask, maybe they know a little something about that too. Notice along the edges, they've got this whole thing split up into a bunch of strips and then taken the strips out of alignment. So if you move them back into alignment and made that whole top row even, the picture would be reconnected. It's like, I'm not sure what that part's all about, but Burning from the Inside, tree on the cover. Sky's Gone Out, plasma lamp sun simulator on the cover with the black hole in the center that we've seen plenty of times. That looks a lot like this plasma lamp. They call it a plasma speaker. I'm not sure exactly how it works, if that plasma lamp above it has anything to do with the speaker, or if it's just a combination of this cool looking Tesla coil thing with a regular speaker built into it. I don't think the plasma, in this case, has anything to do with the speaker. But I think I'm on point here with what I'm talking about. And then they just also happen to have an album titled Mask.
And just building and adding to this understanding of how there's truth hidden within these music videos. This is from the other night when we did The Gravity of Love by Enigma. The experience of survival is the key to the gravity of love. That same song, I also linked this one in the description, which shows some imagery that clearly has to do with the Garden of Eden. If you're into the esoteric imagery and the truth that is embedded within these, that's another good one to just check out. Okay, so the other one by Bau Haus was called Burning on the Inside, and they showed a tree, fractured reality, like a broken mirror and strips on the image of the cover, burning from the inside. This one was by Jack White, called Like a Tree Burning on the Inside. This is a still frame from Smash Mouth's music video, And Then the Morning Comes. We can talk a little bit more about that later. We'll probably go over the lyrics of that song here in just a moment, because I don't think we've really given it due. I think I covered it pretty good recently. Anyway, this is a still frame from the music video, Broken People, which makes a collage, makes a music video using pieces from a movie called Bright. B-R-I-G-H-T, Bright. With Will Smith, and it was made back in 2017, and it is exactly the same concept, narrative, plot, storyline as a TV series called Alienation that I watched obsessively back in the late 80s, early 90s. Where the newcomers, some aliens that arrived to our planet, looked exactly like us, except they were bald with little brown splotches on their head, but otherwise they looked just like us. We were going to work with them, our children were going to school with them, they were completely integrated into our society, and we called them the newcomers. In this movie called Bright, with Will Smith, they have the first orcish police officer teamed up with Will Smith, and they're both officers that are on duty and put together as co-workers. And Will Smith is just a regular old human, and his partner is orcish. But again, that's a still frame from the music video Broken People. I'll include that link in the description. I haven't seen the movie Bright. I went and looked at a couple of the trailers because I realized it's pretty cool looking movie. And yeah, that's caution, lizard people crossing. And this kid kissing the snake in the music video Then the Morning Comes by Smash Mouth is not just some ironic, weird, meaningless imagery. The imagery tells even greater story, like a picture's worth 1,000 words. So there is more storyline embedded within the imagery than within the lyrics of these music videos. And the people who create the images and the lyrics are part of a society that are beyond the people who just believe there's one world and we all live in the same world. By the way, before I just skip past it, Jack White dropped a bunch of music 6 days ago. That's the guy who just created A Tree on Fire from Within. He dropped it 6 days ago. The Doors made their official music video 7 months ago. So that song, like A Tree on Fire from Within, that's not a metaphor. Okay, like in the movie Rango, he goes, it's a metaphor, it's a metaphor. That's not a metaphor. When he's talking about a tree on fire from within, it's people that literally know about the physical reality of trees that are on fire from within. No metaphor for, oh, well, you know how sometimes you feel like you're burning up inside. You know, it's like how a tree would feel if a tree was burning up inside, but if you were a tree. It's not a metaphor. It's a direct reference to part of our reality we are unaware of. In the song Soul Wars, this isn't a metaphor either. Where it says, 1, 2, 3, do you love me? Watch me scream, burning on the trees in amazement, 'cause I'm on fire. 2, 3, 4, giants at the door. These are not metaphors. These are direct references to part of our reality that we aren't aware of. By the way, for those who have children or just regular people who don't, the cartoon movie Rango is a truther cartoon movie with a storyline where the mayor, the town local mayor, he is conspiring with the terrorist, Jake the Snake, because after he created an artificial shortage of water by turning off the spigot to get people to sell their land for dirt cheap in the town of Dirt, there was one holdout. She wouldn't sell her land, even though no one could grow anything anymore because he created an artificially created shortage. Problem. The reaction, everyone must sell their land now for dirt cheap. The solution, I'll buy your land for dirt cheap, and then I'll turn the water back on. So he, the mayor, creates the shortage. The problem, reaction, solution narrative is in there, and when the one girl won't sell, he calls in Jake the Snake. Watch Rango with your kids, and embedded within there is truth drops that were laid for us. These breadcrumbs were laid for us by people who know about the resets, know about the plasma fire, know about the little tyrants that run these little fiefdoms, like in the movie Rango, and they drop these in the movies, in the narratives, in the songs for us. So now that we've established that they drop these truth drops in the movies and the songs and the music for us, let's go back over some of these images. By the way, a big thank you to all of the contributors in the comment section. That one that we just went over called Burning on the Inside by Bau Haus and The Sky Went Out, those were contributed by a viewer in the comment section. So was the lyrics from the one that we went over today called Like a Tree Burning from Within. Someone in the comment section that's doing something with it, and that counts. I appreciate that. So, pointing that this came out 7 months ago, the official music video for The Doors. Likewise, in a recent song I covered called Legendary, that was recently produced in an exclusive distribution list. So they're dropping truth nugs here for us. Here a truth nug, there a truth nug, everywhere truth nug, truth nug. The Doors, they are down with the electricity, man. You listen to the call for an uprising, you'll say, yeah, the lightning bolt, that's just like Satan, Lucifer fell like lightning from heaven, and it's all a satanic Luciferian reference to some pedophilia. You better get over that. Fear is why the narrow path is so narrow, because so many get diverted by that fear. Anyway, let's cruise right along and check out some of these images now that we know they're dropping truth in here for us. Yeah. And then it shows this dude. You watch the video for yourself. There's not much more to it other than the images I'm showing you. He gets covered by something like the black goo. It even has these little points, the little pointy spots, just like ferrofluid, they call it, when you put a magnet up to it. And he becomes that dude. And she is standing in front of all these flames. So they have the fires and the electricity. And I think they know what they're talking about. They probably know a lot more about these plasma fire than I do. I've just been documenting the evidence of this time around. They probably have some evidence from the previous roll-arounds. Oh, hold on. There we go. We're locked in. So you can see the cross, burning cross in her eyes. But it's not just a cross, it's a power pole. And they got the Lochnar green. So the Doors are dropping some new gravy in on an old song. And everyone from Bowie to Enigma is in on The Secret. And they're not trying to keep us in the dark. We keep our own minds under wraps. They are trying to help us out of the mental enslavement that we are in. Plasma fire could be the reason for COVID. That is to say, you can make a logical, reasonable, and rational theory regarding the magnitude and quantity of plasma fire that such an operation as COVID was enacted to keep the public distracted, and it allows countries around the world to deploy forces. For example, we still have our doomsday bunker in Cheyenne Mountain being occupied, and as these plasma releases continue, it will be necessary to have fake wars like Ukraine. So, plasma fire, when you understand the magnitude of it, how much of it there is all over the world, and that there's a large group of people that are in on it that know the secret, it then makes sense that they might deploy an operation something like COVID when they know we are in the final throes, and to keep the public distracted and to give a reason why we're moving so much hardware around. By the way, we're still ducked in Cheyenne Mountain, never came out. So this group of people are the ones that have made it through the reset, or at least know about the reset. And they're singing about such an event and an experience. Likewise, if I forget before this video's over, the song Stole the Show by Kygo is referencing the same exact thing. It's curtains for all of us. But at least we stole the show, and we're playing to a full house. We'll go over that song here in just a second. So, paint the town, take a bow, thank everybody, you're gonna do it again. You are the few, the proud, you are the antibody, mind, soul, and zen. And the world's a stage, and the world's a phase, and the end is near. So push rewind just in time, thank anybody, you're gonna do it again. The way that you walk, it's just the way that you talk, like it ain't no thing. And every single day is just a fling, and then the morning comes. So take your knocks, shake 'em off, duck everybody, you're gonna take 'em again. You are your foe, your friend, you are the paparazzi, you are the tragedy end. And the world's a craze, and the world's a phase, and the end is near. So push rewind just in time, thank anybody, you're gonna do it again. It's talking about the Ouroboros eating its tail, the Great Reset. So push rewind just in time, thank anybody, you're gonna do it again. The way that you walk, it's just the way that you talk, like it ain't no thing. And every single day is just a fling, and when it comes it moves so slow, kind of like it's saying, I told you so. Looking back before she goes, tomorrow's gonna hurt. That's why it's the great and terrible day of the Lord. For a lot of people it is gonna hurt. And the world's a stage, and the world's a phase, and the end is near. So push rewind just in time, thank anybody. It's just like Groundhog's Day, another truth drop. The endless river, forever and ever, as Pink Floyd sang. So this is the lyrics to Stole the Show by Kygo. This is the one where I referenced that they have the ETI parties. When there's a crash-landed ET, They strike up some ETI parties, so he's got some place to duck into for some camouflage. Darling, darling, turn the lights back on now. Watching, watching, as the credits all roll down. We're crying, crying, you know we're playing to a full house. No heroes, villains, ones to blame, while wilted roses fill the stage, and the thrill is gone. Our debut was a masterpiece, but it's the end for you and me. Oh, the show, it can't go on. We used to have it all, but now's our curtain call. So hold for the applause. Oh, 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 and wave out to the crowd and take our final bow. It's our turn to go, but at least we stole the show. Darling, darling, you know that we are sold out. This is fading, but the band plays on now. We're crying, crying, so let the velvet roll down, down. No heroes, villains, ones to blame, while wilted roses fill the stage, and the thrill is gone. Our debut was a masterpiece, our lines we read so perfectly, but the show, it can't go on. We used to have it all, but now's our curtain call. So hold for the applause, oh, 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 and wave out to the crowd and take our final bow. It's our turn to go, but at least we stole the show. Let us not forget Madonna and Quavo. Not everyone is coming to the future. Not everyone is learning from the past. Not everyone is coming to the future. Not everyone that's here is going to last. But in this little part where she intros and segues between the two songs, Like a Prayer, she says, they are so naive. They think we do not know about their crimes. We know, but we are just not ready to act. The storm isn't in the air, it's inside of us. She says, I want to tell you about love and loneliness. But it's getting late now. Can't you hear outside of your Supreme hoodie the wind that's beginning to howl? And then she turns around and blows fire all over the whole stage. You think they're not giving you some truth drops here? You think maybe they know a lot more about what's going on than I even do? I'm just looking at the entrails. They know the process. They're dropping big truth bombs here. People that get the fear in their heart are unable to follow the trail of breadcrumbs and truth to where it may lead, and that's why narrow is the path. And the very first lyric, not everyone is coming to the future, not everyone is learning from the past, not everyone is coming to the future, not everyone that's here is going to last. This imagery needs no decoding. That's the end of liberty and freedom. And this was produced in the beginning of 2019. You know, the Kobe 9/11? The burning fire scenes that they have on the Jumbotron behind them is just incredible. Not everyone is coming to the future. Not everyone is learning from the past. Not everyone can come into the future. Not everyone that's here is going to last. You ain't woke. Come get woke and hear the broken. Come give hope. Come give life. We only get one, so we got to live it right. Come make peace. Oh, come with faith and inspiration. Come complete you. Advice, positive vibes. Open your mind. Then it repeats the chorus lines. I hope you know my life is gold. I drip that ice. I see the signs. Just free your mind. Welcome to the future. It's a culture ride. Too much pain inside. It's an override. You've been putting too much time into trying to survive. Don't like the person in your past, so let them die.